I just want to say hi, devoted creators. So I want to just bring out this video really quick. I've kind of been behind on some videos, but that's just fine. This needs to be said, so I'm going to go ahead and get this out if that's okay with you guys. But I do want to pretty much name this one basically we're going to be connecting some dots here, that because I've been on my journey and I like to share these things with you, my findings and things of that such. And so here's another mystery that bites the dust. And of course I do have my notes here, so thank you so much for your patience and everything. I appreciate you guys so much. Okay, so I do want to keep what I'm going to say simple as I can. I did my best to explain it the best way I could. So I appreciate you. Bear with me. And I hope that what I say is clear. And if there's any questions, of course, I am here to answer any questions. But I'm sure we'll be able to bite enough to chew on, to research, and if we need to. So, okay, so let's go ahead and just get right to it. So simply put, our past is illuminated to clarify our present for direction towards our future, right? It appears that some refuse to see or take responsibility for the, I want to say, and I want to call it mass manipulation, atrocity that they're committing in the name of good or right or just, that they want to say that works. But honestly, does it stand the test of time? Does it work? So I also wanted to ask the question, what are we trying to keep? Because if you're doing these things, it's for some reason. Are we trying to keep something? And if so, is that the reason why we're doing it? Because we're trying to keep either, whether it's social status, money, etc., right? So whatever it is, I ask myself, is it worth it? And then, there's that saying, to gain the world and then lose your soul. Like, is that worth it? It's an interesting saying. So simply because we refuse to look at things in another way, try on different hats, that's the law of polarity, right? So many different ways to say something. It's there's so many different words we can say, that means the same thing, especially in the English language. So of course, the choice to examine or see or understand every vantage point from the bigger picture. So, zooming out so that you can see the fractal. We talked about that. So it's the pattern. When you zoom out, you can see where it's coming from, and that there's a pattern there when we choose to look at things from a higher perspective. So to prepare, and this is all preparing us for an extraordinary existence, right? For a peaceful outcome. So responding in a well thought out manner versus reacting out of fear or believing that we're under some sort of personal attack. It makes me remember to carry myself and to understand that I am the observer here. I'm the observer to our Creator's creations. So to be, create, and enjoy the journey rather than forming a hero, villain, or victim mentality. Right? So, of course, I have to ask myself, will I hold myself accountable or take responsibility for myself, my actions? And of course, we can do this by simply practicing the universal laws. That makes me humble and understanding that nothing is yours, it's the Lord's. We get to enjoy all of these creations. I'm so grateful that I can enjoy all of the delicious food, places, things that others have created. It's pretty amazing, right? One of my favorite snack foods is, Cheeto Puffs. I absolutely love that. And whoever made it the Cheeto Puffs, thank you. My hat is tilted to you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I thank God for those Cheeto Puffs, right? And many other things, right? We must ask ourselves or consider where the inspiration, the creations that were thought of throughout all of these years that helps us so in the present, where does it come from? How do we build these houses, and how do we know to do that? Of course, how was that, right? That was a question. So to answer that question, well, what I did was I asked myself, we look to history sometimes, all the time, for answers, right? We're like, oh, the dictatorship didn't work. Oh, oh, we can go back and see what worked and what didn't work. So as I was saying, I would ask myself to answer that question, why was Jesus so confident and what he knew to be true? He had that unwavering faith. He knew it, and nobody could tell him any different at all, right? So what we came up with, right? He was shown, right? He was shown these things. He was shown by Gaia, who we call God. There's so many different ways to say this, right? We're not going to be hung up on words about who you know, how you feel. Angels, ancestors, our ascended masters, people who came before, spirit, etc. Right? I always like to try to also think about the energies, right? We all know that energy never dies. And I was just thinking like, oh, wow, before there was the internet, people still kind of knew what was going on from one part of the earth to the other part of the earth, how they do that, Wow. They're fast. They're faster than the speed of light. They're fast, right? So we all know about the energies. And so, Jesus, he brought his findings from the 5D through him into the 3D. So, and that's as above, so below. That's the law of correspondence, right? So it said that, our builds, our ideas, our creations, etc., they come through us into this 3D world. How beautiful. Through our visions, music, dreams, sounds, etc. For those who watch and listen more rather than, judge, and are willing to expand in new and exciting ways. Now, that's also, the law of perpetual transformation of energy. Transmutation, of energy. That states, energy is always moving and always changing. If that's the case, then people are always things are always changing. We know that. We know that one thing in life that's guaranteed is change. Life is always going to change. So now that sounds a lot like balance to me, right? So, of course, we will continue to bring innovation into the 3D, materializing as we've been doing for centuries from our never-ending source that we call our creator. So in conclusion, right, everything is relevant and it's connected for the same reason that we can think of any idea and then we see it, right? We see it materialize or it's spoken about on the television or billboard or something. I know I've thought of an idea. I'm like, oh, now those things are probably, they're coming out. It's there. We're all here together to help each other, right? When one of us succeeds, we all succeed. So there's no need for any type of, I want to say, envy, or there's no need for that because we all are going to benefit from all of it. So amazing. So anything I was looking at it like this. So like anything, you gotta know where you're going or you'll be all over the place, right? And imagine that, finding the direction in chaos. That happens a lot. You find that balance in chaos. When we can look back at something, for example, our past, as we tell ourselves the truth from a higher, more mature perspective, illumination, or what is, okay? Because we want to tell ourselves the truth in that situation, not what we thought at that time when we were younger was the truth, what we know now to be the truth. We then know what is not. Now, I do love to know what to practice. That's why I'm going on this journey, because I want to know how to, as I'm rewriting my story, my destiny, right? As I'm rewriting my story, I can't talk right now. I don't know what that is. Okay. We have to know what to do. So I have to know what to practice. Then I practice it. And then I have free will to do both. So you first have to have the free will to ask what it is. And then after you know what it is, then you got to have the courage to practice it after that, right? So I will remember that the magic happens from the 5D to the 3D, my loves, right? That's where the magic happens. That's where that how is. And we don't have to know how he did it. She did. Gaia did. So I'm so grateful to be in existence with all of you. I would be really bored if, and if it was just me here, like, I would be bored. So this is great. I love it. I love how so many people are on the same page. This is so beautiful, you guys. It's so gorgeous to watch. So intentions are everything, right? So my intentions, of course, come from love for everyone, with a no person left behind mentality. Co-creation. Is needed with free will for all individuals, right? And then so that way we're assisting with bringing heaven to earth. That's always been the mission. All of the, the peace, the milk and honey that they talk about, that deliciousness that comes, that comes within, like when people eat a delicious cake, they're saying, ooh, you put your foot in that cake. A lot of people, that's how they give people compliments, or whatever they've made. Oh, you put your foot in this, or you put your pinky toe in this food because it's just so good, right? It's so good. You put your toe in this. In other words, you made this with love, was the compliment. So, with the infinite knowledge of the 3D at hand, and great intuition, and intentions for all life, I'm so excited to see what more will come as we continue to live our extraordinary lives. Let's always be willing to listen and learn. I'm always the student. Always. And I do want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your day. And I am always sending healing, prosperity, and blessings to everyone. And I just wanted to really get this out. I love you guys. Mwah. And I know I'm a little slow with getting everything that I said I was going to do. I'm still doing it, and it still will be done. And I appreciate your guys' patience. Life happens. We know that. But again, thank you for your patience. And I will see you soon. Mwah.